Some days arrive like a storm at the front door, hammering the windows, filling the house with silence and fear. Behind a practiced smile, there are battles no one sees, prayers whispered into the dark, and a heart that feels worn thin by the weight of it all. But even there, God is near. He sees the tremble in your hands, the tears you never let fall, the ache you keep hidden. He never promised an easy road, he promised his presence. So when your strength runs out, borrow his. When your heart grows tired, rest in his arms. You may feel weak today, but you are not abandoned. The very fact that you are still standing is proof that grace has been holding you up. And sometimes, survival is its own kind of miracle. God does not always remove the storm. Sometimes, he becomes your shelter. In the dim heat of a prison cell, a man writes to believers crushed by grief, hunger, and fear. His words do not deny the pain, they sharpen it. This moment, he says, is light compared to the glory coming after it. Not because the suffering is small, but because eternity is vast. And somehow, the losses, the scars, the waiting begin to change shape. What feels like ruin can become preparation. What feels like silence can become strength. Then comes the turn. The affliction is not the end of the story, but the forge that makes the soul fit for what is coming. For this is the hidden law of suffering. The heaviest burdens can become the doorway to the greatest glory. In the fire of suffering, a voice rises from the dust and refuses to break. Tribulation presses in, distress tightens its grip. Persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, and sword all gather like shadows at the door. Yet the answer cuts through the darkness. Nothing can sever the bond of Christ's love. Not pain, not fear, not death itself. The faithful may be counted as sheep for slaughter, but they do not stand abandoned. They stand held. And in that impossible strength, they become more than conquerors, not because the storm vanishes, but because love remains when everything else fails. Some victories are won by force. This one is won by grace. In the darkest hour, when threats close in and the ground feels unsteady, a voice rises above the noise. The Lord is my helper. Not a promise of easy roads, but of steady hands. Not the absence of danger, but the end of fear. Men may scheme, accuse, and strike, yet their power has a border. Faith does not deny the storm. It stands inside it. And when the soul knows who holds it, even the loudest threats lose their weight. Man can threaten the body, but he cannot rule the heart that belongs to God.